This is the Millennial Gaze.
Hello, friends. You just got me today, giving May the day off because she was by herself last week, so I thought, why not? And it's also been a day, and I'm not sure if my brain could handle a 2-hour show because it's been a week. How are you guys all doing, my lovely listeners? Hello, Dally Oops. I've been playing with some new layouts for the screen, so hopefully they work out pretty well. How's y'all's week's been going? Are you getting ready for No Kings on Saturday? Unfortunately, this is probably the first protest I will be going to. I will not be going to just because, less than 2 months left in my pregnancy. And while I do trust all of the people I know involved with No Kings, I'm still just kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to risk it. I hope y'all understand, but we are hopefully partnering with our friends at We the People to bring coverage to all of our lovely audience. And since we have very similar audiences, it just made sense to merge them together. So hopefully that works out. Yeah, I hope everybody can get a chance to get out there because it's going to be pretty historic if we do, because I truly think we'll break the 3.5% ratio, or I believe that's what it is, just with all the crazy going on. So before we start, like news stuff, I saw this story on the I've Had It Ladies podcast from today, and I just thought it was worth sharing with y'all.
Everybody that I'm completely obsessed with. Kylie popped this up. 7 dogs were stolen from their owners in China, and they've gone viral after escaping from an illegal transport truck and making their way home. They traveled around 17 kilometers together, led by a corgi across highways and fields, now safely back with their respective owners. Pop up the video. Okay, so these dogs all live in the same neighborhood, and they all hang out together because everybody knows that dogs are pack animals. So here are these 7 dogs. They're all BFFs. The German Shepherd is injured. So they make a wall around the German Shepherd because when they jumped out of the truck from the thieves that were taking them to the dog meat market.
Is that where they were going?
Yes, they escaped in the back of the truck, and then one of them chewed and then allowed the gate to open. They all escaped. The German Shepherd gets injured. Put this back up. So play that video again. So they're all hovered around, and the fucking corgi is the ringleader. And that little corgi with those little short legs.
Yeah, that's funny.
Sniffed the whole way home. Look at that. His name translated from Chinese to English is Big Fat. Big Fat. I've been down the rabbit hole. Big Fat. This is the type of leadership this world fucking needs right now. Big Fat takes care of the injured and the sick. And he doesn't have little man, short man syndrome like Mark Wayne Mullen, like Stephen Miller. He doesn't have teeny weeny syndrome. It's the littlest dog with like 2-inch long legs. And it said, you know what? I'm going to be the fucking leader today. I'm going to march that sick, crippled German Shepherd home. And I'm not going to leave one person behind. We're not leaving the German Shepherd behind. Everybody's going to make it home, right? Because we're not going to be dog meat today. And pop up these photos of these dogs. Here they are. So people were filming them. And so that little corgi. So here's what I start thinking about, because everything's so fucking political right now, right?
Yes.
Like, who's our corgi?
That's what
Who is our corgi that is going to lead us out of this? Like that little corgi.
So it does. I was just to check in with the comments. I thought that this was so adorable. And if you do not know Jen and Pumps, they love their dogs. And I think they're obsessed with French bulldogs. But yeah, so those who are tuning in late, it is a very heartwarming story. We need to be more like these puppies. It's adorable. And it does remind me of Homeward Bound. I haven't seen that movie in forever. But Jen then goes on, not a rant, but a very valid question to ask of Cool. So what about the United States and who is our corgi? Because this is crazy, and I think she's 100% valid for it.
Just said, you know what? I'm going to put myself in a leadership position. I'm going to march all of our asses home. My name is Big Fat the Corgi. I'm not fucking with anybody. I'm going to make sure this German Shepherd gets home, gets medical care. We're not going to be dog meat. Who's the Corgi? Who is our Corgi?
I'm really racking my brain now that you said that.
Can you guys figure out who the
I
corgi
can't think of
is?
one
'Cause
person.
I
I can't think of one either. I mean, in my mind, it has to be a woman. Kind of.
I don't know. I mean, I would love for it to be a woman. Listen, I'd take a dead pig right now. If the
I
dead
know.
pig had the leadership skills of Big Fat the Corgi.
Yeah. Fuck, we'd take the fucking corgi. We'd take Big Fat over here, lead us out.
I mean, just these dogs, fucking corgi, showing more leadership than any fucking American politician right now.
She's
Look
not
at
wrong.
that. Look at Big Fat. Look at Big Fat. Look at the compassion, the leadership, the commitment, the dedication.
No, Big
Pack
Fat.
leader. Where are you, fucking Hakeem and Chuckles?
Take a lesson from Big Fat.
Big Fat the Corgi knows what to do, stands on business.
I love
Oh.
that.
All right. What else?
I don't know. I hope you guys like that. I think that it's true. The fact that we have people in this freaking country that have like puppies. Well, not puppies, but all dogs are puppies to me. But dogs in China have more loyalty and respect for their packs than people in the United States, and that is just, it's just very sad. And part of just why I titled this Korner episode wellness check is just also to check in with our audience and myself, because like this is all just getting to be so much. I don't know how you guys, I'm sure you guys are agreeing and thinking the same thing, but you know, our angry army vet says, I would love on a Big Fat the corgi. Yes, they're adorable, but I did find out we tried to rescue a what they call a cowboy corgi. I think it was like Australian Shepherd mixed with corgi, and it got very territorial and it became too much, and we weren't active enough for it either. But one of my friends has a corgi. And it bonded very quickly with my daughter, and it was adorable watching the two of them run around, especially with their little wiggle butts. And it makes me miss my dog. I had it, for those of you who don't know, when we lived in Las Vegas, we rescued a dog who was a Dachshund Terrier Chihuahua mix. And when we rescued him, I think he was about 6. He lost his eyesight within 2 years and went blind, and he was diabetic, but he was just the best puppy you ever wanted to have, and he was the sweetest boy, and I miss him very much. But maybe someday we'll have a dog again when life settles down. Ha ha ha. But folks in the chat, how are y'all doing? Like, how are y'all handling this just kind of like everyday thing? And I've restarted Gilmore Girls for like the 8,000th time. We're at the point now where my husband can be like, this is season 2, episode 5. And I'm like, that's exactly right. That's exactly where I am. I'm actually almost at season 3 at this point, and I just restarted the rewatch. So it goes to show. Sorry, my daughter's throwing stuff around. It goes to show how much I'm trying to balance out like politics and also just give myself some grace and watch something dumb or just have something on when I play with her. Because I don't know about y'all, but I get in this like phase. I don't know if it's if it's my ADHD or what, but most of the time I can't just like sit in silence. Like I can't sit in silence. I can't drive in silence. I always need like some background whether it's background noise or like music while I'm driving or while I have certain shows that are just like background TV shows, and Gilmore Girls is one of them. So I think it all just depends. Barb, I have to reset today watching Ryan Hall, y'all, until you started. I don't know who Ryan Hall is, but I'm very happy you're here with us today, Barb. And give some shout outs to Barb because she definitely deserves some love today. I know what you read. When I read books, I listen to a low volume of white noise. Yes. And actually, I recently have been putting on white noise to sleep. And for me, it does help. And thankfully my husband can sleep through like Metallica playing. So the white noise doesn't bother him very much. Because that's just another thing of like I can't sleep in silence. I used to have kind of like an air purifier machine on in my room when I was younger. So, but yeah, just the silence. Like like I said, I don't know if it's the ADHD or if it's me just like if I hear one thing, I'm like, oh, squirrel. So, but yeah, sometimes I have a hard time focusing to read too. So the next time I pick up a book, and I've got a couple I want to read, I'll probably do that. Not that I can ever find time to read anymore, but you know. So thanks, guys. We're gonna go look at some new stuff. So, like I said, off tonight. Excuse me. I figured that also my T-shirt would be appropriate. The Antisocial Social Club. And unfortunately, I get way too many compliments on this T-shirt, and I'm like, you clearly don't understand the message of this shirt, but whatever. So, May sent me this and asked me to share it. It regards California and the governor's race, so please pay attention.
Guys, I need this one to go viral. So push all the buttons, like, comment, share, do what you got to do. Because California, you in danger, girl. Let's talk about the California governor's race. Meet Matt Mahan, my mayor here in San Jose, who's also running for governor of California. Now, Matt calls himself a centrist Democrat, which is just a runaround way of saying he's a Republican. So for the sake of the rest of this video, I will now call him MAGA Matt, because MAGA Matt is a dino.
Okay, so I religiously watch The Daily Show just because I love Jon Stewart. And he was on, I don't think it was this week. Maybe it was. No. It was either this week or last week. He was on as a guest. And I was like, really? He's a Democrat? Just hearing him talk, I was like, I don't know. So this makes a lot of sense. Anyway.
A Democrat in name only. He is backed by big tech money in Silicon Valley, PACs that are led by Republican strategists, and also money that is tied to Peter Thiel and Palantir. Do I need to say anything else? And you're about to see a lot more of him because it's big money rollout time, like he was just on Jon Stewart. I am so disappointed in you, John. And MAGA Matt just made the cut for the televised March 24th gubernatorial debate, despite low polling, because he has insider ties to a Republican strategist that is backing one of his PACs. He just filmed campaign content in New York City for some weird reason, comparing himself to Mamdani, except the conservative Democrat version that wants to maintain the status quo. And he's pushing this working class story, but he went to Bellarmine, the all-boys private preparatory school here in San Jose, and then to Harvard. And his short stint as mayor here in San Jose has been all Band-Aids and no actual solutions. So I will not mince my words here. I believe that Matt Mahan is a Republican plant, a hand-picked Republican Trojan horse sent in to siphon votes away from the top contending gubernatorial candidates on the Democrat side so that the Republicans can win during this jungle primary. Because in a jungle primary, it's the top two vote getters. So we could actually end up with two Republican nominees for the midterms. Our field of Democrats is diluted between 8 candidates because when we divide our votes, we lose. So it's time to be serious and it's time to be strategic. The time has come for most of these Democratic candidates to bow out. And at the very least, you cannot throw your support behind someone that does not have a chance of winning. As for me, I have decided that I am going to go all in for Eric Swalwell. He is polling at the top for Democrats. He is endorsed by a ton of unions here. He's got some progressive solutions and ideas for California, and he's strong enough to stand up to Trump and protect our democracy here. And before you say anything, he is no longer taking APAC money, and I have verified that with him. And of course, you do what is right for you, but I do not want us to fumble this, and I want us to stay focused because big tech money and the Republicans are working overtime to divide the Dems. Hey guys,
Thank you, Eric Swalwell, for not taking APAC money. I love hearing that because he is probably, from what I've seen from the Democratic candidates for governor, he is definitely top, if it were me, top on my list. But I love seeing that he is not taking APAC money. He's a lawyer. He is smart. He has been taking these goons that come in for those hearings to town. I loved his showdown with Kash Patel, but we have to remember too nowadays, like just because it says Democrat on your voting ballots and stuff, like we have to make sure to know we have to do our research. And yes, we do not need another Fetterman because I live in Fetterman's state and oh my God, it's so bad now. Like even the former governor of Pennsylvania, I think it was Tom Wolf. Yeah, Tom Wolf has said like someone tried to ask him about Fetterman and he was like, ooh, nope. And Jazzy, I agree. He could never be Mamdani. I don't know if you guys saw this. I think it was within like a week, if that maybe. Mamdani filled, I think it was like 8,000 potholes in New York City and like paid people extra money to actually do the work. Yeah, I agree. It should be. Just more clear-cut evidence. We have to scrutinize every candidate with a fine-tooth comb. Yeah. You definitely have to do your research. Speaking of APAC, I don't know if you guys all saw this when I was on We the People, but I want to share it with you anyway. I did I've been seeing memes on the holes filled. That's funny. I like that. Thank you. Yay, I'm here. Show me some love. All right.
To give us part 2 of her APAC investigation.
I was going to say, yeah, speaking of what about the Democrats? What about all this money? This is the Dems. So anything in red is over $1 million. The darker the red, the more the money. If you see green, like bright green, like this one here, that means they take no money. Lighter green means they're on the right side but need to stop taking money. So this is the Dems. It's a lot of red. The most a Dem has done is $22 million from APAC. Just as a quick refresher, which is I still can't believe that. So that's the Dems. This is the Republicans. And I want you guys to notice how little shades of red there are.
And Katie, could you tell us again, just really quickly, what APAC is and why we are not pro APAC?
So APAC is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, a nonprofit group that lobbies for strong U.S.-Israel relations. It all is funds toward basically a pro-Israel agenda. So pro-Israel and basically anti-Gaza. And that Israel is Israel first, and that's it. I do have like on this side here, all the different groups that are involved with like APAC. You could just say, hey, it's just APAC. And something that's also very scary just about APAC in general, and I'm hearing it a lot more, is how much, especially in these state elections, like regarding governors and like House and Senate seats in the state, they are making up even more names to be like, no, we're not really APAC. Oh, no. So I'm very happy to hear, like in that last video, that Swalwell was like, nope, no more APAC money, and she could confirm it. AIPAC, and it's like, nope, they have all these other fun names for it, like USI, GCSC, AMP, like all these different things to just try to hide their APAC money. This shade of red that I have here that you guys can see, that's up to 3 million that they take from APAC. And again, this is the Republicans. You don't see much of millions of anything. And the only one that doesn't take really any money is Thomas Massey, which doesn't really surprise me. We've got one from Indiana that takes over 3 million, Mark Mesmer. He is a Republican in the House. Mitch McConnell, no surprise there, takes almost 4 million. Mike Johnson, again, are we really surprised? Takes a little over 3. Susan Collins takes almost 4 million.
Wow.
Susan Collins. Ugh.
And
Yeah.
the biggest culprit, I believe, on the Republicans, Lindsey Graham takes over 4 million.
Lady Graham.
Yep. And which is no surprise because pretty sure he has like a friggin' house in Israel and he's there like every other weekend. But of course, no surprise, the top guy was Ted Cruz. And then I did this as well just to compare like the sums. And so we've got, and what just everything with the Dems of everything was just double everything what the Republicans were. So when you hear like, oh, Republicans are taking the AIPAC money, yeah, but so are the Dems in scary, scary amounts. And right. I think it transformed over the years and became a lot more evil and diabolical. I am unsure if that was the original intent, but yeah. And, they update these charts like all the time. Hi, Momo. Welcome. They update these charts like all the time. So they try to keep it as real as they can. Lindsey Graham. Yeah. No government official should be speaking to a foreign country's leader about how to get his country right. I don't know, Barb says, I don't know if it's going to take the birth of another political party or what, but the Dems will lie to your face and then play behind your back. Yeah, yes. Money is the root of all evil. And, we see that. I get so tired of listening to people like Hakeem and Chuck and Cory Booker standing up there doing their pleas of stuff and crap, or I'm very active on Threads, which is like kind of Facebook, Twitter now, but it's a very like progressive place. So people don't put up with their shit on Threads, and it's actually kind of hilarious. And I'm pretty sure that like those leaders have their thread things like timed out instead of just randomly posting. But it's like, dude, you have no concept. They don't have any concept of what is going on, and they don't have any concept of the people that like they're supposed to serve. And this just makes me lose so much faith in just this whole system. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. It's not just about the Republicans. It's about the Dems too, because where was it? Yeah, I agree with what you said, Barb. The Dems will lie to your face and play behind your back. At least the Republicans are just flat out screwing everybody over. And you know that they're going to do it. Like, we know. And I think most of us at this point have kind of figured out even which Dems are just flat out lying to your face. But it's important. And I think I'm going to start, I've done the deep dive on AIPAC with the Dems and the Republicans in DC. I'm debating if I want to look up some other PACs just to see corporate-wise how that all works, because one of the things I did like about that video with California was Swalwell they were talking about Swalwell and how he has a lot of unions that support him, which I think is a pretty big deal. And again, I've only pretty much seen a lot of positive things from him. And one of my favorites was I saw something was, I guess he tried to write for like an online, I think it was like an online kind of like OnlyFans 18 plus, but it was his writing was not very good, so I don't think he lasted a while. And he was like, "Yeah, I did that, and it wasn't that great." But yeah, it's we'll see. It just depends on how these next 2 months go. But hi, Yanni. Welcome, welcome. Trying to get a workout in. Ugh. In the 60s, so Jazzy says, in the 60s, JFK tried to get Israel to register under FARA, the Foreign Agents Registration Act, and they got pissed off. Huh. He was assassinated a bit after and never registered. Wow. Irony. So, let us check out Morning Joe talking about TSA this morning.
You're commuting every day.
I have a friend at Newark. It's a mess. It's a complete mess, and TSA clear is a mess as well.
Yeah,
Regular TSA, 3 hours.
3-hour wait lines. And I would just say to Republicans, this is on you. If you think that you can like blame Democrats, everybody's saying
You're in charge.
you're in charge of
Ooh.
Washington. And a comment I heard, I can't say it completely. I will just say that I heard somebody yell in line yesterday, they want to run Iran and they can't even run their own effing airports. And that
Really
I
scary.
sat there thinking, oh my gosh, that is what everybody in this 3-hour line at LaGuardia is. And what happens is they wait in line, they get on the planes, and then the pilots say, flights canceled. I checked 3-4 Delta flights canceled yesterday out of LaGuardia. It's happening at airports all over the place. It's chaos.
Well, also, fun fact I found out, and this is true, that I believe is Delta is not letting, I don't remember exactly if it's Republicans or if it's Congress in general. They're not even letting them fly. They're like, nope, we're denying you, which I think is low-key kind of hilarious. But welcome to the Resistance finally, Morning Joe. But I'm still mad at you guys for going down to Mar-a-Lago right away when you did.
Chaos. And so it's weird, you know, sometimes we need to cover Iran. But I'm just telling you,
This is
people who vote, they're looking at gas prices and they're looking at the airport, and they're not too dumb to understand on social media that Republicans, once again, had a chance to vote for TSA funding and they voted it down. Let me say that again. Republicans now 10 times, all they had to do is say yes, and TSA funding would have passed. They won't do it.
Yeah, the people are angry. We're seeing right now, it's people who are using air commute for work. It is the spring sports season for so many parents with kids have
Right.
tournaments.
Yeah.
Spring break is on the
Easter's
horizon.
coming up.
Easter and Passover are next week.
Do you know what I'm trying to figure out? How to get all my family together.
It's not going to be
And
possible.
you know, because I've got adult children, we, as everybody with adult children, we've been planning this like a Phil Marshall Montgomery for months now. People getting off of work, figuring out how to get the babies, all that. And I had to call him yesterday, and I was in the airport, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get together for Easter because all these flights are getting canceled and it's chaos. I didn't say because Republicans keep refusing to pay TSA, but Republicans keep refusing to pay TSA.
It's complicated.
It's a good place to stop for that video because this was just shared with me recently, but they're absolutely right. Like, do they not realize how big of a travel season this is? I was lucky enough for one spring break in college to get to travel, and we spent 10 days in Europe between Scotland and England, and it was incredible. The travel was kind of crazy. The airport was kind of crazy, but I think 3 hours too is like the minimum for like the wait times, which is insane. I saw TMZ make a post about asking people to take pictures of congressmen living their best life during spring break so they can put them on glass for neglecting TSA workers. Yeah, right? Just, I wonder if it has sunk into Mike Johnson's bird brain yet that no one believes his lies. And I'm sure, I'm sure they will see Ted Cancun cruise. Like, these people are just, I don't know. But so in one of my group chats, this was just reported. Also, congrats to Aaron Parnas. He is a new dad, which is very sweet. And he's, I don't know how, he is still doing reporting for us while his wife is in recovery. But again, congrats to you. So it's probably why he's whispering. Whoops, sorry.
That he's going to be signing an executive order to pay TSA agents during the ongoing government shutdown. Now, he made this announcement more than a month into the government shutdown, and there are a lot of questions that remain. First, where are they getting money from? Because the Department of Homeland Security is shut down, which means spending, too, for paying TSA agents would be shut down. That's why they're not getting paid right now. Second question is, if he now has all this money to spend, from where, I don't know, why didn't he do it sooner? And that's what a lot of TSA agents are asking this evening, because they've now been multiple paychecks without pay. Many of them have walked off the job. Some of them have had to quit. Some are calling in sick. I mean, it's been a very bad situation for our workers. And so the question is, why now? Well, maybe it's because people were getting angry and they started to blame the president and the White House for the ongoing shutdown, for the lengthy lines at TSA at the airports, and for the fact that these agents aren't getting paid. So spread the word, and as always, follow along for more. We have some news right now. Donald Trump says that he's going to be
Sorry, my husband was ranting about something and I didn't want to have you guys hear it. But yeah, so what is it, Aaron? So now they're going to pay TSA agents. And he asks a lot of great questions. Like, first Trump was screaming about, oh, well, I'm not going to do anything with the Democrats because the SAVE Act, and they don't, well, maybe he's finally realizing, like, they really did fuck up with the fact that this war is not doing anything for him. And they're not going to pass the SAVE Act because I'm pretty sure there's Republicans voting against it too. The Senate, I don't know. From what I've seen with the Senate, it's like there's some things that are a 50-50 vote, but then there's some things that are a 60-40 vote, and the majority is so slim. Regarding the 60-40 vote, I don't know. Like, it's just taco all over again. And no, he doesn't care about anybody but himself. And he's just been chickening out. But it's another, excuse me, it's another valid question of, like, where are we getting all this money? We're literally spending billions a day to kill innocent people and send our troops basically over there to slowly die, which is insane. And then where are we all of a sudden getting all this money to pay ICE agents? Maybe. I don't know if they've gotten paid yet or whatever, but like, pay those insane salaries for literally standing there in airports, and then these poor TSA agents like cannot get paid. Like, he does not care about the working class everyday people. He does not care about the people that voted for him. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. And it just oh, thank you, Momo. ICE is funded through 2029. Jesus Christ. And they're wiping out money when they manipulate the market. 1 trillion got wiped today. I just wish that more Trump voters. Like, I'll play this one.
The president of the United States is fucking lying. I think this whole administration has completely lost their fucking mind. And I think we're all gonna die.
Just saying. Leo knows what's up. Yeah. No, I absolutely agree, Angry Army Vet. When everything is uncovered, so much fraud is going to be uncovered. Absolutely. And I don't think he's finding money. I think it's a case of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yes. The Senate is literally holding a vote on the floor open, so they can't vote on a resolution brought forth by Foghorn Leghorn to pay TSA, period. Jesus, like, what? We're not at the place anymore of left versus right and like and red versus blue. We haven't been for a while. We're not, there's no humanity anymore. Like, when did people, I know people have always been selfish and jerks, but like, when did it become so much of the population? Like, I always ask myself, am I the odd one out here for thinking like there has to be some good left somewhere to get these people to just wake up? And it just gets frustrating and tiring. And to give us a little bit of a break, let us tune in and watch what The View has to say.
Sports season, apparently, in D.C. And Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, just added a new one to the list. Watch this clip.
Tonight, we have created a new award. We're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to honor him with a new award that we'll present annually from this point forward. But he is the suitable and fitting recipient of the first ever America First Award. We can think of no better title for what that is. That's this beautiful golden statue here, appropriate for the new golden era in America.
We're cringing. And I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I find it interesting that this award was created at the same time the news broke that Bill Maher is receiving this year's Mark Twain Prize. Oh. Now, the White House said that it was fake news that he was getting the prize, but he is getting the prize at the Kennedy Center, which you know who slapped his name in front of a few months ago. So I don't, I've never seen somebody who was so needy. This is the most snowflakiest president I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you need an award. You're the head of the country.
The funny thing too is people, oh, welcome folks. Yeah, I love Whoopi. I love how she never calls him by his name and always says, you know who. Yeah, I agree, Momo. The majority of people are not down for this. It's just unfortunate that the despicable, hateful minority is currently in charge. Maybe he'll trip over it. Also, don't you love it, especially for like some younger folks, but anything, you know, we live in a world now of a lot of like participation trophies, or basically like trophies for just doing nothing. And like these Republicans are asking for trophies for the absolute bare minimum of shit. And I personally, even though I'm a millennial, and I think Dawn made fun of us this morning about like the millennials needing trophies for everything. I like to earn my trophies and places personally. I like to be told like, hey, you were the best at this. And but yeah, we're the snowflakes, but they have to literally make shit up for this president to deal with his tiny ego and probably his tiny penis. Anyway.
Why do you need what the hell?
And Mike Johnson, he likes him. He likes him. He's like a pathetic case.
But watching him awarded, it felt like he was reading a script someone wrote for him. He's like, it's called the America First because that's such a fitting name for I thought, read it like he wrote it. Just do it.
It reminds me on Instagram when when it says, signs you're a narcissist. It's like, create an award just for yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Scroll through the other side.
Well, I have an award for Trump, the Pinocchio Award.
Well, does anyone else hope that the golden on that award is, let's just say, not metal? But that's just me. Momo, I did not allow my kids to accept participation trophies. I taught them how to lose and win with grace. Absolutely. And I'm a musician, guys, and like I have had many points in my life where I have lost with grace, or I have not lost with grace. Everybody has those moments. But I've also had moments where I've won things, and it's really meant a lot to me, and it's really important. I love Angry Army Vet's comment. I'm sure my imaginary penis is bigger than his. I think all of ours are, especially us females. But thank you guys all for tuning in. So I love these ladies, even if it is like daytime TV.
I know
Go,
that the
Sonny.
Kennedy Center does usually give the Mark Twain Award. I know that you are.
No,
past-
they actually don't. It's held in the Kennedy.
It's held in the Kennedy Center,
but it is not given. Yes, there I am with my Mark Twain.
And the thing is, past Mark Twain Award winners include people like yourself. We're talking about Billy
Conan.
Crystal, Lily Tomlin, Dave Chappelle, Jon Stewart. Now that it's being held at the Trump Kennedy Center.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Girl, don't call it that. I also thought the Kennedy Center was closing. Ugh, it's such a mess. And even I've got friends that are in like the National Symphony, which is a part of the Kennedy Center. Even they're starting to book gigs with people that it's like away from the Kennedy Center and at different spots. Exactly. You cannot win everything, and everyone is not going to think you're great. It's okay to lose and then have something to strive for. Absolutely. I 100% agree, because if we don't have goals to reach, it's not going to make you it's going to make you lazy. And it's not going to make you want to be better. And that was always my thing, especially in music, and even when I got to points of, say, like, I was the best in my saxophone. Like, I was the best saxophonist when I was in undergrad in my school. And it's not like I was perfect at everything and better than everyone. Like, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. But something that I always told myself was, cool, you might be the best in your school, but there are thousands of schools out there, and there are thousands of saxophonists out there who do a lot of things better than you. So you can't just settle for mediocrity. And at this point, also, you can't just settle for bullshit. Anyway, let's listen to Sonny.
It seems to me that the question is, should Bill Maher accept this award? It used to air on PBS. I think when you received it, it aired on PBS. Public television. Now it's on Netflix because of a deal that Netflix made.
Well, they're making all kind of deals to get people to go there.
Correct.
But this is a different thing. This is not awarded by the Kennedy Center.
Right.
The Mark Twain Award is a separate award that is given by a committee of several people. It's been sold to this group, and they have not been changed.
But the ceremony of the Mark Twain occurred at the Kennedy Center.
But it's like renting a space. It's like renting a wedding center. That's what it is. One of the reasons that I think it was there and why they were involved is because they were looking to see, is this somebody we want to give the Kennedy Center Award to? But now that that's no longer the case, they're not there. The Kennedy Center they're having the awards ceremony there. I don't believe they've fired anybody out of that award, out of the
Mark Twain
Mark Twain Award. They
well,
have not.
What they've changed about the award when you received it is that the decision now is jointly made with the Kennedy Center board that Trump appointed.
Right, but
and so
here's
these
my point.
loyalists are now in a position to weigh in. And my understanding, at least this is what my producers are telling me in my ear, is that that is what is becoming the issue with the award, because before it used to sort of be
right, but it shouldn't be. Well, the Kennedy Center always
combo.
had some say, but it is my understanding that they didn't have any say in this, and Bill Maher getting it. Then, because apparently they were surprised that he was getting
But
it.
even if they did have
said.
a say, look, I came in this week talking about the importance of free speech.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep touting that as much as I can. Any opportunity, if anyone can speak their mind, it's Bill Maher. He's one of the most authentic. Agree with him or not, he's going to go say what he wants about Trump on his home turf, of Trump's home turf.
No, we won't.
I have to be honest, sitting in the seat, because I'm only here this week. Before I came in, I was feeling so lost politically. I've been feeling that way for a really long time. I've been feeling so uninspired and so heartbroken about this country. You showed that clip with the whatever award he's getting, and sad about where our country is. And every morning I've walked in this building and I've walked with the security guards and the crew behind the scenes and all of you here.
Yeah.
And hearing their stories of life and the things that they care about. And I'm realizing we all look different. I may have a different political view than them, but they're all wanting the same things. They want the health of their children.
Right, that's
They want opportunity. And you know what else they are all telling me? They want goodness again. And what I've realized, I keep wanting to put my head in the
I don't want to watch no more of that, but wow. I don't even know who that is. Abby Hutcherson or something. And by the way, yes, Angry Army Man, I'm throwing that shade because when I was in college, I never did. I thought I sucked all the time. I'll never understand how grown people can worship another human being, especially one who does nothing but foul, hateful like this. Yeah, I agree. Angry Army Vet. The country has always been like this, but now the lights are on for everyone else to see. And I know a lot of us that have been like in the anti-Trump train have been in some level of that for a while. Just some lights have been a bit dimmer than others. Some are finally starting to brighten up a bit. So, but I'm guessing that whoever this guest host is a replacement for Alyssa while she's out on maternity leave, which also as a mom, congrats to you, because I know she had a crazy pregnancy journey. But I wish that money was not a thing in this country. I wish our reps and Senate would actually do what they're supposed to. And I just wish that more people cared about us. And when I say us, I mean like me and my family and all of you guys in the chat who are just everyday people trying to be out there living their lives. And, you know, Abby, I think that was her name, on The View was right. Like, we all have different stories and we all have different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, so many of us just want the same things. Like, I want a good life. I want a good life for my kids. I want healthcare to be easier. I want free college. I want everyone to feel safe. And these just, when I say it out loud, it's like, this is just basic human decency. And this is just basic human, I don't know. What is Dally Oops saying? Careful what you wish for. This oil issue is going to continue spreading to everything and pockets of everyone. All of us paycheck to paycheck. Unless our paychecks get bigger, we won't be able to survive. No, absolutely. And it's so scary Like, because I think Dally-Oops, you're in Pennsylvania like me. Like, the way that gas has gone up just this week, like, holy crap. And this is Pennsylvania. Like, this, I'm hearing horror stories from California. Yes, I agree, Momo. This is why all big money needs to be removed from our politics, and there should be term limits. We need people who really want to fight for their constituents. Yeah, and I can name people, like, I don't even think I would need both hands to count how many people in, like, DC I truly trust. And I'm sure that list gets smaller as all of this shit goes. Yeah, I agree, Anger Army Vet. This country has an empathy deficit. We are bankrupt on that, and also seeing others as human. It's basic. It makes you feel like a majority are sociopaths who raised you. Right? Like what? Were you raised in a barn or what? Like, I was raised by two parents who loved each other, and it was a Catholic household, but I still knew. I was lucky because I knew still at like a very young age. I was never taught hate, and I was taught love and acceptance, even though I lived in an area that was not very loving and accepting. But just my own personal experiences in my life have shown me so much. And I'm wondering if the fact that some of these people are just unempathetic sociopaths is the fact that they just haven't had some of these life experiences, because I've learned that the most empathetic people have been through the fucking ringer with like their life. And I would rather have people who have been through some shit and understand or try to understand people and what they've been through than somebody who just listens to a false prophet any day. And I don't know if that's making any sense to you guys, to our lovely viewers, who I love all very dearly, but even a pack of wolves look out for each other. Yes, like those dogs in the beginning that I showed. Even they look out for each other. Like, come on. I think that social media and just like these bots and AI just doesn't help either, because we think to ourselves, like, we see all of this hate online, or you see like some of these videos where people just go into a store and say the N-word to a person of color, and it's insane. And then they start fighting back, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't? And you're like, especially online, it's like, what is real and what isn't? Momo. What's sad is we are only 250 years old and we're already crumbling. There are civilizations that have lasted thousands of years old and still thriving. Absolutely. Sociopaths came over and stole from and killed the native people of the continent, and stole Africans from another continent to kill and treat them and treat less than human. Ugh, right? Like, it's... And I get it. Like, hold on, Momo spot on. That money is a serious problem. Yeah. Kevin Hassett, Trump's top economic advisor, said, "The consumer pain caused by the Iran war is the last of our concerns." Jesus Christ. And I get it. Like, to Marley's comment, she's, they're spot on. And it's like, we need to know the true history and foundings of this country. I'm still learning it. There's a lot of things I've learned. I've learned more in like the past 5 years about our history of the country than probably I ever did when I was in grade school. And I want to learn. I want to evolve. It helps me be a more empathetic person, I believe. And there are people out there like me, I hope, that want to learn and want to help. So always just remember that. If indigenous people still ran this country, I bet these lands would be rich and thriving, with wonderful communities working together to keep it that way. Oh, absolutely. Yes, they did, Dally-Oops. PA schools whitewashed our history books. Yup. And I went to a high school where I swear I had in high school history every fall because the history teachers were always the football coaches. And like in the fall, they just really didn't care about actually teaching us. They were just like, here's a worksheet. I got to make some plays because welcome to Pennsylvania. But I'm really appreciating the comments and the interaction we've got going on in the chat tonight. You guys are the best. I'm very thankful for all y'all. We got a couple more things to talk about. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As long as the indigenous let the whole owning slaves things go, that unfortunately did happen. Not all, but some tribes. Barb says, I've got docs for days on the ugly, bloody history of this country, from Native Americans to the slaves. PBS is the truth. I am more than willing to share. Absolutely, share it. And PBS has been very active on YouTube lately, too. So I highly recommend seeing what documentaries and stuff they have there. Of course they don't. Of course they don't want to teach any Black history or people of color history because, they want to Disneyfy the history of this country and try to whitewash the shit out of it. I don't want Disneyfied history. I want the real hard truth. And if like kids in school can't think that they can't handle it, well, what about the kids that went through all of this history and they had to deal with it and are still some dealing with some of this history? So miss me with that. I wonder if they would have done it if the white man didn't show them the way. I don't know. That's not an excuse. Oh, are you talking about Native tribes? Yeah, I don't know a lot about that, so please enlighten me. But we're going to move on. Everyone has their things that they like. We like wrestling in this house, and we're going to talk about Jesse the Body Ventura, who used to also be the governor of Minnesota. Let's hear this because it's pretty great.
So Jesse Ventura went on Piers Morgan's show, and man, he did not hold back. He is fucking fed up with Donald Trump. He's a Minnesota guy. He was governor of Minnesota. He governed as an independent, actually ran one as an independent. Very, very rare. He was able to pull that off. He endorsed Tim Walz, and Tim Walz, of course, delivered free school breakfast and lunch for kids. Legalized weed, like a whole bunch of stuff. So he's very politically involved, specifically in Minnesota. And as soon as the ICE Gestapo thugs showed up in Minnesota and started shooting people in the face, started breaking up families, started arresting innocent people, this guy awoke from his slumber and was ready to crack some MAGA skulls. Okay, so he goes on Piers Morgan's show here. He's going to talk about what ICE did to Minnesota. He's also going to talk about his thoughts on the Iran war and Trump. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is glorious. Let's take a look.
You said the ICE agents came to your school.
Yeah, the ICE agents came to the school where I went to high school, chasing some guy down just like the Gestapo. And I heard people were offended calling them that. Really? I can tell you right now, if my parents would have been alive and they would have seen what happened in Minneapolis, they would have called it the Gestapo too. So they come to my school, they use tear gas and pepper spray at the school. Now, here's a question I have, Piers. My uncle Emil fought in World War I, and he was gassed. He came home, but his life was ruined. He could never do anything. What did they do? They outlawed it. Gas using chemical weapons became a war crime. Why is it that you can't use them on your enemy, but you're allowed to use them on your own people? That has always been, where is the media on this? Using chemical weapons against our own people, which is in essence a war crime.
Well, I think I wouldn't describe the gas used by ICE agents as chemical weapons. I mean, that infers weapons of mass
tear
destruction.
gas. They're spraying people from 6 inches away right in their face. I can't use that in war. I wasn't allowed to carry tear gas or any type of chemical weapon in war. It's banned from war. It's considered a war crime. You can't use it against your enemy, but you can use it against your own people. Doesn't something ring wrong there for you, Piers?
Well, a lot rang wrong about what was going on in Minnesota, and I'm very glad that it has been resolved, at least for now. And I think
it hasn't been resolved.
Well, no, not completely, but
nothing's been resolved.
No, I understand.
We have 2 dead people here. Yeah, 2 people were killed by the Gestapo here.
Yeah, I understand. And those investigations are ongoing, but at least the ICE activity that was going on and the way it was being conducted.
There are no investigations. There are no investigations. What is he talking about?
Being removed from Minnesota, which is a good thing. And I thought what happened was appalling. And I said so at the time. Let me ask you about Iran and your view of this war.
Well, here's how I feel about it. There's a simple thing as a leader, and you know this having been in the military. Trump wouldn't know it because he's a draft-dodging coward. But anyway, it's this. A war is justified if you're willing to send your kids. Because how can you send somebody else's kids to a war if you won't send your own? So I'm calling right now for Barron Trump. Donald Trump's on, after all, he's had 3 wives, he's had kids by each wife, and nobody's ever served in the military. To my knowledge, a Trump in the last 100 years has never done military service. Well, Barron, you can change that. Enlist in the United States military right now. Do something your father didn't have the courage to do. Do something your father didn't have the patriotism to do. I want to see a Trump in the military. Everybody in my family is serving.
Look at how uncomfortable Piers is.
So I think I can say that with all due confidence. Come on, Trumps. Don't just reap the benefits of this free world. Somebody put on the uniform, and that's you, Barron. And I heard the excuse that Barron might be too tall. David Robinson served on active duty. He was 7 feet tall before he ever went to the San Antonio Spurs basketball team. David Robinson went to the United States Navy Military Academy. He's one of my officers, not directly, but he would have been.
Okay, look, it's...
So, yeah, too tall is apparent. They're trying to use that as an excuse. So for those of you who don't know a lot about Jesse, something else is, so he was the 38th governor of Minnesota. He was a very famous wrestler with WWE, WWF. He was also a Navy Special Ops underwater demolition on the SEALs team during the Vietnam War. So he knows what's up, and he supports Tim Walz constantly. And I love that he has been speaking out like this, because not only is it effective in political ways, but also because he was a WWE star, that gets people's attention too. And it's important to use platforms like that. And even though he not ruled, but governed Minnesota as an independent, he still endorsed Kamala and Tim Walz in the last election. After he left office, he was a visiting fellow at Harvard University for JFK School of Government. He has been out there doing the work, and we need more people like that. Yes, he's a badass. He is. Yeah. It's insane. He does investigation, and it's always important to do your research, especially in these crazy ass times. Speaking of research, I always love to check this. Our lovely Trump tracker, which of course has gone up since we checked it on Monday. These first 3 ones on this scare me, you guys. I don't know about you, but undermining democracy, and just look how this stuff has been going up. Undermining democracy, suppressing dissent, nationalism. You could literally stream a show on YouTube for 24 hours just about how screwed up all of this stuff is, between the Handmaid's Tale level stuff. And if we wouldn't get doxxed, I would play a longer clip. Oh, what? Trump is going to have his signature on all our money. I can't remember. Well, I don't like to carry cash, so maybe that'll be something good. But, what? What is this? Yeah, no, absolutely, angry army vet. It is overwhelming to see those numbers continuing to go up and nothing is being stopped. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the scariest thing because, and the thing that makes me so frustrated to, especially regarding Iran, is, he loves to talk about, oh, but they're shooting protesters in the street and women deserve freedom. I did some research, and now correct me if I'm wrong, but actually regarding the Middle Eastern countries, Iran is one of the better countries for women, especially involving like STEM careers and women going to college, and like that's why they have girls schools there. And so it's like, why are we here? Why are we where we are? Why are these idiots up there defending this stuff? I still picture that one video. I don't know if we shared it or We the People or Don Lemon, but that video of the father, like with the bloody backpack of those girls, and all I see is my daughter. And I don't know about the rest of you, but it's like, how? How is any of that okay in any way? How do these people continue to kiss his ass and sleep well at night, thinking that what they're doing is the right thing? And I hope to God we see like some Nuremberg level bullshit for all of them, because at the end of the day, they're going to deny and deny and deny. And the one good thing about living in this day and age is there's records of like everything, of pictures, of videos, of recordings. So yeah. I find myself asking myself daily, what is this? Like, am I really awake, or is this an alternative reality that I've been banished to? I promise whatever wrongs I did, I'm sorry. Right? Yeah. But, stupid people shouldn't be president, according to him, because apparently dyslexia makes you stupid. Get out of here with that. Like, come on. So, one last thing before I go. But this has been a great show, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and joining with me. I love you all, and I'm very grateful. So let's listen to Mr. Robert Reich talk about No Kings this weekend, because he always has some really good stuff to say about it.
My friends, the next No King's Day protest is on March 28th, and it needs to be huge. Some of you are probably thinking, another protest? Yes, and here's why. 3.5%. A study of protest movements throughout history by Harvard professor Erica Chenoweth found that when 3.5% of a population actively participate in sustained peaceful protests, it can topple authoritarian regimes like the one currently occupying the Oval Office.
The visibility of civil resistance actions allows them to attract participation from ambivalent people.
I've never protested before in my entire life, and I decided I could come out here and stay with you guys.
No King's Day rallies in 2025 were some of the biggest protests in American history. But we must keep building solidarity if we want real change. To hit 3.5%, we need 12 million people to show up on March 28th. Now, I know it sounds like a lot, but 7 million attended the last No King's Day protest in October. Folks, the momentum is on our side, and Trump is only getting more unpopular by the day.
A lot of people feel betrayed.
Whether it's his reckless tariffs, his deadly deportation agenda, his corrupt business deals, or launching us into another war in the Middle East. The American people are fed up. They're tired of their problems being ignored.
Shame on this American government that is able to find money for war, but has nothing to say on the problems of the people right here.
King Trump is backed into a corner, and the midterms are coming up fast. This is why we must stay engaged and keep up the pressure. Come be one of the 12 million people to peacefully take to the streets on March 28th. Bring your family, bring your friends. Let's continue to build solidarity with each other and keep up the pressure on wannabe King Trump. Visit nokings.org to find a protest where you live.
I personally love Robert Reich. He's brilliant and he's sensible. And I think he's like 10 days older or younger than Trump. And it's like Robert Reich does a Saturday morning podcast that I recommend everybody tune into because it's great. I just want to go over some of these comments before we head out. Jazzy says, he is the last person to be calling anyone stupid. I agree. No normal person wears a pound of orange bronzer on their face and think they look good. Ugh. What show are we talking? Oh, yeah. I haven't watched a lot of that show, Man in the High Castle, but what I have seen, I've really liked. Yeah, he is a very comforting voice during this because he's been there. If you guys don't know who he is, he was, I believe, Clinton's labor secretary and teaches or taught at Berkeley in California. He is so just well versed in everything going on, and he has so much respect for what the government is supposed to be. And yeah, I'm trying to go through all these. Thank you, Momo. Every protest is an act of resistance. Every protest and act of resistance matters. There's nothing that is inconsequential right now. I completely agree. And people protest in their own ways. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm not going to a No Kings protest on Saturday, and it's like the first one I'm not going to just because of life and where I'm at. It's not that I don't feel safe with the people there. It's just that I have to think about myself. So hopefully I'll be live streaming all day. Yes, absolutely, Andrea. Article 2, Section 4, for watching him do all of this. And yes, I do believe that I 100% agree with you, Momo, that this point, joy is an act of resistance because you can't let him and his regime totally suck the life out of you. You have to find joy in everyday things. And that's why they want you to bring like your family to these protests, and people are dressed up in inflatable outfits and there's music. You have to have joy. It can't just always be storming the castle. And I understand, but I understand that people are mad. I understand that people are angry. I get it. Trump is everything that's wrong with this country incarnate. Yeah. And when we're out there spreading joy and spreading just love and coming together, that's something that people like him hate because he wants us to all be miserable. He wants us to crawl and beg at his feet. And the fact that we are out there showing joy and love and that we are not going to do that pisses him off even more than people trying to fight and argue with him. Because not only are they showing, like joy, they're ignoring him. And if there's anything that narcissists hate, it's being ignored. So that is extremely important too. And I do truly believe that we will get the 12% out there, or not 12%, 12 million out there this weekend. So, yep, 3.5% population cannot function just focusing. Yes, absolutely, Angry Army Vet. You cannot function just focusing on the doom and gloom. You will drive yourself crazy. You have to find love. You have to find things that make you happy, whether it's just like earlier today, my daughter kept poking me in the belly button and laughing because I was like, ah, or if it's just watching a favorite show or a favorite movie, you have to find something that makes you happy every day because you can't let yourself crumble. Thank you. Fast food, please do the Lord's work. Yes, please. I keep on reading this thing that's like he's one McChicken away from dropping over. So keep it going, y'all. But thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, Saturday, we are going to try to merge with We the People. And if for some reason with StreamYard that doesn't work, I am just going to go on We the People and be with them for most of the day. So, because I know we have a lot of the similar audiences, so we don't want to have to make you guys choose. Hubby and I find at least one thing every day that makes us smile and laugh. Yep, it is the little things that can make you happy. So we have to fight. Yes, we do. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for being here with us on this journey. Not Millennial Gays. We the People is tomorrow with their panel show. And then, like I said, Saturday, either we're doing a collab, if that works with StreamYard, or please tune in to We the People with their coverage of the No Kings protests. Go out and find stuff, find your happiness. And again, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon.
All I said was there's evil afoot.
Evil!